You're at a red light when a matte black Corvette pulls up beside you. Engine loud enough that the driver rolled his window up just to hear his phone call. You know him, sort of. Same office park, different floor, entry-level marketing, same salary range, give or take. The car says otherwise. 10 minutes later, you see the same trick in your feed. A coworker from HR, standing next to a cherry red convertible she's never once driven to the building, tagged at a downtown dealership, caption about treating herself. You've parked next to her actual car for 2 years. It's a gray Elantra with a parking pass sticker peeling off the windshield. Something isn't lining up. You clock it and you go back to your desk anyway. It takes your friend Priya to explain it, weeks later, almost by accident. She used to work in event photography before switching careers, and when you mention the Corvette guy, she just laughs, like she's seen this 100 times before. There's an exotic car rental lot downtown, she says, that does 2-hour blocks specifically for content. $180, insurance included. An empty parking garage on the top floor because concrete looks expensive on camera. You never drive it anywhere real. You circle the lot, park it under good light, shoot for 90 minutes, and it's back by 6. You do the math without meaning to. $180 total. Enough for a whole month of captions that read like a different tax bracket. Priya keeps going, on a roll now. A studio 2 blocks from her old office rents out a fully staged penthouse. Nobody lives there. Marble counters, skyline view, $95 an hour, 3-hour minimum. People book it for moving in videos, then never move in, because there was never anywhere to move into. A guy she shot once rented a watch, worth more than her car, from a place that lends them out by the day so people can film themselves checking the time in an elevator mirror. One more thing, almost an afterthought. A friend of hers books a private dock on a lake 2 hours outside the city, $150 for a half day, just so people can shoot a weekend getaway post without ever spending the night. The boat isn't theirs either. It comes with the booking. You ask how she knows all this. She just shrugs. Once you've worked a shoot like that, she says, you start seeing the seams in every feed you scroll past. You start noticing the same rented rooftop showing up behind 3 different strangers, claiming 3 different lives. You go quiet for a second, doing math you didn't expect to be doing over lunch. You think about how many hours you've spent this year scrolling past moments that cost less than your grocery run and lasted less time than your break. Real life, it turns out, is rarely the thing getting filmed. None of it is fake, exactly. Not in any way that breaks a law. Nobody's lying on paper. They're just building a frame around one rented hour and letting the caption do the rest, letting you assume the hour was the whole life. You think about the HR co-worker's Elantra with the peeling sticker. You think about your own car, 3 years financed, nothing to be embarrassed about, nothing to brag about either. You'd been quietly measuring your Tuesday against a Corvette that goes back to the lot by 6, a penthouse nobody sleeps in, a watch that isn't anyone's, a dock 2 hours from a life nobody's actually living. That weekend, at a barbecue, someone brings up the HR coworker, says she's really doing well for herself. You almost nod along, old habit. Instead, you just ask what she actually does for work. Nobody at the table knows. They just know the convertible. Later that night, scrolling before bed, you catch yourself doing something different. You see a post, someone your age standing in front of a house that clearly isn't theirs, caption dripping with gratitude, and instead of the usual tightness in your chest, you just wonder what the hourly rate was. You don't say anything else about it. That's not really the point anymore. You just stop running the comparison against numbers that were never real to begin with. You open the app a little less, not from any decision, just because there's less pulling you back once you know what a rented hour actually costs and what it doesn't buy. A few weeks later, you're back at that same red light, same intersection, same time of day. No Corvette this time, just an ordinary line of cars moving through a green light like nothing ever happened there. You notice you don't check who's next to you anymore. You just drive. The Elantra's still an Elantra. Your car's still financed. None of that changed. What changed is what you're measuring it against. And once you know a Corvette can be rented for $180 and gone by 6, you stop wondering why yours isn't the same color. You start driving your own life instead of comparing it to someone else's rental.